Hi, my name's Angela Casey and welcome to Edinburgh Outdoors, the podcast that explores Edinburgh's green spaces and the people in them. First off, welcome to Season 5. I can't believe we've reached this point, so thank you for listening. And today's podcast sees a return to Easter Craiglockhart Hill, where I recorded the first ever Edinburgh Outdoors episode. This episode was recorded last year in the spring, and I've hung on to it because I thought it would be a good way to help you deal with the January darkness. Because we watched ducklings, we looked at the spring flowers on the hill, and we planted trees. I met up again with Jim Heath, who runs the volunteer section on the hill. So listen in and imagine it's spring. Welcome to Edinburgh Outdoors again, Jim.
Yeah, I was having a look, and the last one we did was August, right?
It was in August, yeah, and it's now the spring, so different time of year. Oh, thank you, I've got a tree to carry. Different time of year, and well, there's a robin. There's a lot of birds around at the moment, aren't there? Douglas is with us today. He's the third dog on a podcast.
Actually, 60% or so of people we walk with around the hill have probably got dogs. Right, so we're nearly there. So we're going to plant up there.
Right.
So we're on a place called the Zigzag Steps, we call it.
That's a tiny little archway.
We've got two little archways, so we built a dead hedge, which holds material back. So there's a dual purpose. So this protects the path from debris, so it means we don't have to scrape the path as often. But also it's a fantastic habitat for bugs and amphibians, so that's why we built that here. So this is a place called Izzy's Wood. This is the very first bit of planting I did as part of my involvement in the hill, and that's maybe 7-8 years ago now. And we've been filling in the gaps, so there's a lot of different birch, there's some oak, there's even some Scotch pine down the bottom.
It's really nice.
So we're going to plant two alder trees. Now I get told off because of my accent. A-L-D-E-R. They're maybe 3 or 4 years old. They're a very good plant in the wet. And this area we're going to be planting in tends to have a lot of runoff. It's a bit dry at the minute, but there's a bit of a spring action going on up there somewhere. Never been able to identify the source. But anyway, that's a very wet part of the hill. So alder's very good for that. There is no alder on the hill at all, as far as we can make out, so we've been around the hill a lot. They're very robust in the wet, so it's one of the few trees that actually gets harder when it's wet. The main problem with planting trees in the woodland is finding space. The commodity that's most precious to it would be light. So when you plant it this time of year, you can get a better picture of what the canopy looks like. So you see a lot of sycamore is mostly in leaf now, although it's not in full leaf yet. So a lot of that area there is full because nothing will grow underneath those trees because the light's already taken by the canopy. This area here is a bit more open, but we've got to be careful where we put these trees because we want them to get maximum light.
How tall do they grow?
These ones will grow quite big, 5-10 metres, but it depends on the soil and light.
Where did these trees come from?
So we bought these trees from some of the money we've raised because we wanted to get a fairly mature alder because we haven't got any on the hill.
Do people donate trees?
Some people like to try and donate trees, but unfortunately we can only accept trees that are native to this area.
Right.
They also need to be quite securely grown, so you need to know there's no chemicals involved or they're not bringing pests and invasive species in as well. Right. So I'm a bit reluctant to accept trees that I don't know much about.
Yeah, but if you talk to somebody if they had them.
Yes.
We've got a helper with us up here who's going to plant trees as well.
Just go to your left maybe a couple of metres to your left, another one. About that spot there. You notice we're not using a tree guard either because I just wanted it going natural. So with these trees, you just dig a hole as big as the pot and drop it in. So the other thing we can do is if there are stones or something around, you can put a little ring of stone around just to mark it. There we go, that's it, I'm happy with that. So we'll check those probably at least annually, but probably for the first few months I'll come up here once a month and have a look. So what I thought we could do then, we could wander over, we'll go past the Iron Age fort and you'll be very unimpressed.
Yep.
Walk down the hill to the pond, because there's a lot to talk about at the pond.
Yeah, I'm interested in the pond.
So this is where we planted the trees last time, on the right.
What did you plant?
So we planted rowan and hazel, and you can see them marked very scruffily with a couple of sticks. Those are probably the biggest trees we've ever planted on the hill, because you get free trees from the Woodland Trust. This is what we call Primrose Bank. So we've been putting primroses in here for 2 or 3 years because there were no primroses on the hill. So we felt like this hill deserved primrose. We put them in 2 or 3 years ago, and since then we've been splitting them and growing them from seed.
So you're just putting more and more. Oh, it's really nice, isn't it?
To mention as well, we have permission from the landowner to do this stuff. So you can't really take away anything from the hill because it's a nature reserve.
The council owns the land.
Yeah, so we have permission from the council to take seed from these plants. We grow them into plugs, small plants, and then we put them back out again. Or with primrose, the great thing about primrose is a primrose this size, you cut it in half with a spade, you put half back in the hole you've just dug, and then you take the other bit and plant it somewhere. So anything you see on the left side of the path is a result of splitting, and anything on the right is largely a result of planting. So we're starting to get a decent colony that we can actually start splitting on a regular basis.
They look really happy, don't they?
And they look really nice.
Yeah, they do. Actually, it'd be lovely to have them on all down this side and all up the other side.
Yes, indeed. It was a trial and error. We didn't know this was going to work because there weren't primroses here before. It felt like the right place because there's not so much canopy cover in the spring. So we tried it with a few. They seem to flourish. There's also snowdrop. We've just had our snowdrop split, which we do annually now. And we've probably moved 1,500 snowdrops this year throughout the hill.
That's a lot.
So, but one of these clumps has probably got 50 bulbs in it. And if you do the same thing, you take out half a clump, you try and break it up a little bit, put half of it back in the hole, leaving you the remainder to take and put on the hill and distribute.
And they were here before, were they?
Few. We've got thousands of snowdrops now. It went from a few hundred to several thousand now. This is what gives us a lot of pleasure, seeing the bumblebees coming out of hibernation over the winter and going straight for these things, which weren't here before. It's simple, but it's a long process. It takes years. Even that small patch there is 3 years in the making, really.
Right. Nothing happens overnight, does it?
Nothing happens overnight. Strangely, when we put trees out on the hill, we've got over 95% success rate. We lose very few. That's our patch of campion that everything is growing.
I think that was out. I think that, because that lasts a long time, doesn't it? And I think that was out when we were here last year.
It's just getting bigger.
Coming
That's
out.
another delight, is seeing that get bigger.
Which is a nice colour.
There were very few cowslip on the hill, so that's the same story.
You never used to see them, but now you do see quite a lot, don't you?
Yeah. You see them by the side of the bypass.
You do get a lot of dogs up here, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, the majority of people who come up here, particularly during the day, will be taking the dog out. I mean, it's the way I got introduced to the hill too.
What are all these clumps?
So this is knapweed.
Oh, right.
So we've been trading knapweed with other groups. We swap knapweed for other plants because we've got so much knapweed.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic flower for the bees too.
I remember this last year up there. It was completely different.
I have different favourite parts of the hill depending on the season, to be honest.
We'll go up to the top. We should go up to the top as we're here, shouldn't we?
Yep. Because the Iron Age fort is there. We'll see it on the way down.
I know it's a disappointment.
It's going to be a very big disappointment.
I know. I think these things are quite fun, though. I like them.
We have a lot of these trees are planted on behalf of dogs. So these ones here, there's 4 trees here. 3 of them commemorate dogs.
Oh, that's nice then. So you could have a tree that commemorates your dog.
Yeah, and I'll give you a certificate with the dog's name on it and the location. You can visit it. The person over there has put a little orange band around it.
Oh.
So that's for a dog called Olive, who used to walk this hill. She used to like stones, so I buried a stone under there.
I know you've got your dog commemorated down here. It's nice to have a commemorative tree for your dog, and then when the tree guard comes off, all the dogs who come here to visit can pee on it.
Yeah. Well, it's just to visit sometimes. You just want to come and have a little thought for the poor devil, you know. Be careful when we plant trees. We're not allowed to plant up the top to spoil the view. But if you notice, those are planted quite a long way down the hill, so they won't interrupt any view.
We're now walking up to the top to get the view. And yesterday I was recording on the crags and we couldn't see a thing, but today you can see right down to the opals and beyond.
So last time we were here, this was covered in harebell, which is a remarkable plant because it lives on the top of the hill where the wind blows its strongest. It's got the finest stem, and yet it seems to survive up here quite happily. And yet there's no sign of it at the moment.
They come later, don't they?
Yeah, in August. I must have told you last time when Erin was planting the harebell seed how dusty it is. It's like the smallest particles of seed.
Really?
So if you hold it in your fingers, you can't get it off your fingers.
I guess they are just incredibly delicate things, aren't they? Although they're quite robust in terms of where they'll grow.
Incredibly robust when they're in the ground.
Because they're all over Braid Hills.
Yep. I love it. It's a great thing to have. I'd love to have people come in to see the harebells one day.
Harebell Festival incoming. It is lovely up here, isn't it?
So I'll show you some of the other planting we've been doing, because one of the questions you've got is about what we've been up to.
Yeah, it's just interesting to know what you've done since we were here before.
So we've been introducing new species onto the hill that should be here. We now have you. So heather. So we've got a native heather growing over there. We've got juniper, which we've introduced recently. You weren't allowed to buy juniper up till maybe a year or two ago because they were preventing disease spreading. So you couldn't buy juniper. So we've got juniper. We've got alder now. We've got primrose, rock rose. We've got one rock rose plant. I've got 50 more plants on order because a local lady really likes rock rose. So the northern brown Argus butterfly really likes rock rose. So if we can get rock rose here, at least we've got an established environment that if a passing northern brown Argus wants to come and live here, then at least they've got the food source here.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? I like that you plant by request as well, so if people say they want something.
Yeah.
Assuming it's native and acceptable. I think that's really good.
Well, it's an ownership thing again. So it enables people to feel part of the hill, which is all we're doing, really. It's not our garden, it's not our hill. But if we've got somebody who comes up the hill every day who likes rock rose, and they visit the rock rose and look after it, that's gold.
I think you said last time that this belongs to everybody, so people can come up here. They can help by not leaving dog poo bags.
That would be nice.
By picking up litter.
Yeah.
And by spotting wildlife as well, because you put that on the website, didn't you?
And just loving the place a little bit. So I'm busy propagating heather at the moment, which is one of my friends up north finds it incredibly funny. So I'm trying to propagate heather from little twigs.
Oh yeah, and there's so much of it up there.
Thousands and thousands of acres of it. That's all they ever see is heather.
There must have been heather here originally. So
I would have thought so.
You wonder why it went.
There's only two species, I'm told by Erin, there's only two species of heather that I'm allowed to plant here. And I'll show you a secret place. This is where we do our experimenting. And we want people to enjoy the place, but at the same time, if you put heather and stuff in the middle of the open area, people just walk all over it. So there's heathers, there's juniper, 1, 2, 3, there's about 7 or 8. And we've cleared all this. And it is a secret place because we try and keep it away from everybody else because, until it establishes itself, it's quite vulnerable.
How many trees do you think you've planted on the hill?
I think about 800. So a rowan is probably the biggest tree, one of the biggest trees we plant. We'll plant dog rose, we'll plant crabapple, hazel, hedge plants really.
But it's like you were saying with the primroses, it's quite a long-term vision, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not wanting it to be perfect next week.
No, we're not building the RHS Chelsea Flower Show gardens. And also we're full really. It's a woodland, so a lot of the woodland is full of big trees. What it doesn't have much of is different aged trees. Most of Edinburgh's like that. All the trees are the same age. So the council often complain that they're all falling down at the same time. So you need a flow of different ages. So let's go and have a look at this wonderful fort of ours, shall we?
Well, I did ask.
Yeah.
I like a bit of archaeology.
So the fort on Wester is quite pronounced, right? You've been up that one, haven't you?
Yes.
So it's a ring of stone. You can see where it's been, part of the building is, because it's been dug out for the World War I armaments.
Yeah.
So it's always been a discussion whether this hill has a fort as well. So over the years, people have gone backwards and forwards about, yes, there is one, no, there isn't one. Well, back end of last year, Canmore finally said, yes, there is one here. And the evidence is going to be right in front of us in a minute.
How did they decide that there was one? Did you ask them to look, or was that...
The local archaeologist guy, who was part of the group, has been chasing them for a number of years to try and get them to recognise this as having an Iron Age site on it. And it's also a very nice site because there used to be obviously a stream down the bottom of the hill, so there'll be water. It's not a stream anymore, it's a pond, but it's defendable because there's cliffs. So largely it ticks all the boxes for what the Iron Age family would want. So it's just the other side of this wall.
Obviously not an Iron Age wall.
No.
I think it's fascinating actually on this hill that every now and then you just suddenly get what were buildings or walls and things.
Yes.
It is really interesting.
And the effort people went to build a wall. So the rampart runs parallel with the wall. It's
How do
very
they know
hidden.
that? Because we can't see anything.
Well, I could take you around and you can have a look if you want. So on that side, it's cliff face. It's pretty much quite a almost vertical drop in places. So quite easy to defend. And that side, obviously, is good visibility. Well, it is now, but I don't know what it would have been like in the old days. You need a big imagination. So this is the rampart.
Ah, right. Oh, yeah, and there is a sort of drop down, isn't there?
Yeah. And that's all you can see, I'm
That's
afraid.
all you can see.
Up,
Yeah.
all the way along.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I'm not surprised that it was here. It's all right, I wasn't expecting to see Iron Age implements lying on the ground.
So this is very exciting now because earlier this week I got sent a picture of a resident.
No,
It's a baby owl.
it's very
Baby
fluffy.
tawny owl.
It's
that
so
live in
fluffy.
just down this hill. So Erin and I came out last night to see if we could see it. So
And
the
did
tawny
you?
owl, no, the tawny owl was born probably the end of March. Sometimes they have 3, but this is on its own. So whether that means it's just one born or whether there was its siblings nearby, I don't know. But that's one of the cutest animals you can see, I think, a baby owl.
Which is very cute.
So we got a pair of tawny owls. They live in that corner over in front of us. You come up here at dusk and they start screeching to each other before they head off hunting.
Yeah.
And of course they do the twit-to-woo thing as well. So they screech a lot. So this is our second spot of primrose. So these are dog violet as well. These are starting to flower now.
But you don't have many bluebells.
Well, I think we're denuded of flowers, basically. That's why we're planting. It was painfully obvious to Erin and I years ago that there was no flowers in the woods. We're an island, very isolated from things because the golf course, God knows what they spray around. It seemed to us that it needed something to support the bugs, the bees and everything else that comes out of hibernation over winter, butterflies. Because unfortunately, you watch bees on this stuff, they don't touch it. There's no value to wildlife at all. There's no pollen in it.
Someone's been busy because there's not that much litter here, is there? There really isn't.
People say that to me. They say, there's not much litter here. I still get 3 bagfuls a week. I got a whole bagful yesterday.
I was taken aback by how much you pick up on the water of Leith.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, they get loads. I mean, they still pick up easy 4 bags a day at a time. Bin bags, not those bags.
Yeah. The interesting thing is, though, somewhere like Water of Leith, because there are paid people there, they've got that ground of people who are making sure that everything is getting done, and they've got objectives and things like that. And the people that I've talked to who are pure voluntary organisations are the ones that often struggle to get the volunteers.
There's the effort involved in running volunteer sessions, which is not inconsiderable. It's significant. So if you have people, like I do my volunteer sessions twice a month, I probably spend 4 hours planning it, putting out the invites, answering questions each session. So that's 8 hours a month I'm spending just setting up the session.
Yeah.
And then I'm attending it, so that's 3 hours. So if you added all that up, that's 14 hours of work for 2 sessions. So I think that's one of the reasons is the invisible effort involved, and I'm not paid to do that. So you need people who've got the drive and the knowledge to be able to run these things, because you can't just let loose 25 people on the woodland and say, on you go, do some volunteering. You've got to have some definite plans. You have to make sure it's safe, it's appropriate to the age groups, all those sort of things. And that's where the effort comes. So sometimes it's easier to do it yourself. Well, it's easy to do it yourself because you don't have to worry about health and safety as much. You don't have to give instruction. You don't have the tools to carry, and you can come and go as you please.
But then it could become a burden, couldn't it? Because you feel the pressure of it.
Or both sides of the burden could be a burden. The burden of running sessions because people rely on it. Right, so we're at the pond now.
Come down to look at the pond.
Do you want to see the island?
Yes, I do want to see the island. I'm really interested in what the island is.
Okay then.
Where is it?
It's over there. So I've been working on getting an island for this pond since March 2024, and 2 weeks ago you've got to give it a good pull left. Hard as you can. That's better. Pretend it's Donald Trump. So this island is intended to be a safe nesting habitat for coots, moorhens and mallards, and it's going to be floated out to the existing island. It's going to be tethered downwind of that spike.
I think by the time the podcast goes out, it'll be out there. So this used to be a boating pond originally, was it, in Victorian times?
Yeah, so this was built in about 1870, 1880, something like that. I'm bound to be wrong on that date, but it was built as a boating leisure pond because this area was called Happy Valley. And the Happy Valley denoted a place where people of Edinburgh would come out of Edinburgh and come and enjoy their Sunday.
And I can remember my daughter kayaking here.
Yes, my daughter's kayaked here too.
Yeah.
So it's no longer, it is still, oh look at the ducklings, look. It's still denoted as a leisure pond, so it's still for leisure purposes. But after 10 years, it can turn back into a nature pond.
So I've never heard of an artificial island, so tell me about how it works.
These are the islands. So there's two halves, 2 metres by 1 metre. They clip together. You can clip them anywhere you want, but I'm going to clip them so they make a square for 2 metres by 2 metres. Okay? Mm-hmm. You can visualise that. It's pre-planted with core matting and wildflowers. So I've been keeping these damp over the last week. It's planted with rushes and water plants. And the idea of this twofold is the water plants put their roots through the matting and they create a habitat underneath the island where fish can safely spawn and things. So you effectively have a load of dangling roots. Obviously outside they feed themselves as well. The second part is that these reeds will grow high enough to give air cover to the birds that are nesting there. Because at the moment, the gulls swoop down and take the chicks pretty much every time. So you rarely get a successful brood coming out of that nest. So if this is out there, hopefully the coop will have a safe place to nest, to rear the chicks, and a safe place to get back to if they need to. That's the thinking.
And the black stuff at the bottom is buoyant?
Plastic, yeah. I'm told it floats. So on Sunday, I'll find out at 11 o'clock.
So it arrived like that, with the stuff already planted in it?
Yeah,
but nothing had grown out yet, and now it's growing up?
Yeah.
And so you can make it as big as you want because it looks like it's modular,
yes.
Is that right?
You just keep adding bits on. So there's a male side and a female side, and they clip together. You can do it as stagger, or you can do it as square, or a big long one.
And how will you pull it out there?
So I've got 2 sea kayakers coming who are skilled, who will find this very boring terrain. So they're going to tow it out. I'm going to be on a kayak as well. They're bringing me a kayak. So we're going to tow it. I've engineered some cabling to tether it and anchor it.
And how deep is it out in the middle where it's going to be?
Right, well, I've waded all the way round, and near the edges, the water comes up to about there.
So waist height.
But the mud is about knee deep.
Oh.
So it's not easy to wade because you're stuck to the ground. But if you go a bit further out, it can be a lot higher. I think it's maybe 2 metres deep.
Right.
So it's not good for wading out there because it's dangerous.
I'm amazed nobody swims here.
I saw somebody swimming yesterday.
Oh, did you? I guess you wouldn't mind,
if they had their jabs because there's disease in there apparently. The E. coli level's quite high,
right?
We're told. I tend to think that there's something in here that is not good for people.
Yeah.
So that guy who swam yesterday, first time I've ever seen anyone swimming, is probably suffering a little bit today.
So there's an inflow and an outflow, is there?
There's an outflow, which is just at the end. The inflow is largely, well, this used to be a stream, okay? So there's a running water pipe just in front of those swans.
So there's water coming in and water going out, but it's largely sitting here.
Yes.
And it's right next to some buildings and some housing.
Yeah. There's no sewage. This is not a sewage inlet, not like the Waterleaf. So the river of Waterleaf gets lots of sewage, so I've had the pleasure of playing in it. But this doesn't have any sewage inlets.
Right.
It has an inlet, but I don't know what comes into it. Runoff, I think.
It's clearly attractive to the birds, though, because you've got the birds coming.
Yep. We have lots of people who come every day to see the swans.
So where will you put the island? Just out in the middle?
It's going to be downwind of that spike. So that used to be an island. There's a coot nest on it, as you can see.
The coot is sort of perching on it a bit.
So the thing that sparked me into this whole process is that the people in the gym would see gulls swooping down, taking the chicks, and then dropping them on the path until they die, and then eating them.
Oh.
And they do. This poor coot has 3 clutches a year and just seems to feed the gulls. So I thought, you know what, we could put an island out there, provide some air cover, and hopefully
what a great idea.
Stop that happening.
I think it's a really good idea. Where do you get the matting? Where does it come from, the island?
So the island came from a company down in Sussex. The only company I could find in the UK that made these things. It's paid for by the fund that we got for the work that was done. When the developers bought the site up the hill, they gave the council some money, which is supposed to be used on the upkeep of the hill. So I took a small portion of that after much negotiation, which getting money out of the council is not an easy task, I can tell you that. So I can't tell you how excited I am to see, and how scared I am actually, of putting it on the water and hoping it floats. We've done it with no money, and we're nearly there. Disaster, we'll forget we had this conversation then.
I'll delete the whole bit out.
The whole thing, as though it never happened. What island, Angela?
I'm loving these ducklings.
How many are there?
A lot.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow.
She's very pleased with them, isn't she? Here comes Dad.
You'd hope that's Dad.
So, Jim, we've met before, so I'm not going to ask you the usual questions. So what I often do with someone who is on their second recording, I ask if you've discovered anywhere new or exciting around Edinburgh recently. I think last time you said your favourite place was the Water of Leith.
Yeah, that was a bit of a get-at, because the Water of Leith is quite a long river, and it's full of variety. But I've discovered more places than Water of Leith. I mean, I spend quite a long time at the Water of Leith every week, probably a day and a half on the water every week. So at the moment, I think my favourite place on the Water of Leith has got to be Redbraes Weir. That's the word I was looking for. So Redbraes Weir down by Curly Park.
Oh yeah, I know.
Just because someone told me there was a seal that arrived on the island last year. So I just had a nice image of a seal coming up the river and sleeping on the island right in the middle of Edinburgh. Very interesting, because nature's surviving amongst quite a heavy lot of housing, encroaching houses all the way along that part of the river. So nature's doing its best to try and survive amongst it.
And have you ever seen the otters when you've been down on the Water of Leith? Oh.
We're doing Water of Leith for 4 years now. I've seen the footprints, I've seen the scat, I've heard various stories about how lovely they are, but I've never seen them yet.
That's annoying.
I've seen eels, so I've seen their food stuff.
Oh, you've seen eels?
Yeah, loads of eels. Big. I've howled a big eel, which was probably, I couldn't get my hand round. It was like a mussel. It was like this wriggly mussel, incredible animal. So I've seen eels in the water. And if eels are living there, then we must be doing something right.
Yeah.
We're getting less rubbish out the river. We're getting the stuff that people throw now, but we're getting less historic stuff.
Because you pulled a lot of it out.
We pulled it all out.
Well, that's great. And just out of interest, because we were walking around, you said you've got a few favourite bits. Easter Craiglockhart Hill here. Where's your favourite bit of the hill?
Well, my favourite bit of the hill is probably dependent upon the season. So early spring, I really like the patch of snowdrop that we've got on the entranceway. In the summer, I like the meadows because the bees and the butterflies are hanging out there. This time of year, I quite like the swampy bit because there's frog spawn and frogs and toads hopping about, and the swans are nesting down this end. There's some coot chicks. Look, see them? The coot chicks always look like moorhens, so that's another reason why this part of the pond is really special this time of year, because of all the youngsters. We've got a little grebe that supposedly nests in this bit. And if you've heard a little grebe, it makes a chirrupy sound, like a brrr sound. It's going to be one of the prettiest bird calls there is.
Well, let's hope these aren't nesting on the island, but that they're nesting in here and the gulls won't get them.
Well, they must survive to some degree because we get plenty of coots. It's not like we're short of coots, so one would assume that we have enough to survive to replace the ones we lose.
That's really nice.
It is lovely, isn't it?
It is nice.
And the mothers diving for food.
Well, thank you, Jim.
It's been a pleasure.
That was another great chat, and I think what was really good was that we talked about a whole load of different things. We found that incredibly impressive Iron Age fort, and I'm excited to see the island. I think the island will be here by the time the podcast is published, so people will be able to come down and have a look. And it's on for their information, so it's on Locketton Crescent. You can come down, look at the pond, and see the island, which I think will be fantastic. So yes, thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
I've really enjoyed it.
Come back again. There's always something new to see.
Well, I'm really pleased to have come back and had another look at Craiglockhart Hill and to see about the island, which I think will be fascinating, and to have a poke around in the woods and hear from Jim about what's changed since last year. And And as always, thank you for listening to Edinburgh Outdoors. If you enjoyed the podcast, please rate and even write a review. And don't forget to tell others about it too. And if you know of a green space in or around Edinburgh that might like to be featured, please get in touch.